So yeah, we're going to apply the RG70 because that's going to take a couple hours to dry at minimum, so that we can then put our Poly 1 HD on. So we're going to do that on that one MDF board on the back.
So similar to the RG80, this one is 1-to-1.
So this one is RG70.
Yep. Yeah. So 70% solids, 1-to-1.
Yeah, 1-to-1. Okay.
This
is a
is
flush roller. What the
I
hell?
think it still comes in this packaging, or does it come in all in one yet?
No, it's still in this packaging.
So yeah, 2 gallon, 2 gallon. Is what you get.
Okay, so what we're doing right now is this system right here, our grind and seal. Yeah, vamos a aplicarlo en claro, pero también después vamos a enseñar cómo aplicarlo en color. Okay. La misma producto, nomás vamos a aplicar, mezclar un tinta para hacerlo en gris. So what Corey's doing right now is he's mixing the RG70. It's a 1-to-1, just like the other polyaspartics. It is a much lower viscosity, remember. Okay. And we're using this on that the board that we're going to apply it on to simulate applying it as a grind and seal. Okay, so remember the concrete would have been ground and prepped, brought up to probably 50 on average the most, and then from there thoroughly cleaned, and then the RG70 is applied to the surface at about 250 square feet per gallon, and that's just to seal up the porosity of the concrete. At that point, like the slide shows, you could apply another coat of the RG70, whether it's clear or tinted, and then from there, that's just going to be really if you need more durability. And then the final coat would be the Poly 1 HD. Okay. Now you could leave it with just the RG70, but the RG70 doesn't have the same abrasion, and chemical resistance as the Poly 1 HD. It's a really nice product. The only issue with it is, like a lot of polyaspartics, it has a lot of odor.
So when you put it down at the primer, can you skim coat before you put a second?
Skim coat, what do you mean?
Can you like a little sanding?
Oh sure, you can sand it, but you want to have all your prep done beforehand, so that all you're doing is putting down the RG70, letting it dry, putting the next coat on top, letting it dry, and either calling it a day, finished, or if you do it the right way, you don't. Why would you want to sand it?
And this is a product that you'd mechanically prep the surface with the 30 grit diamonds.
Okay.
No, nothing coarser.
Okay.
Because this is a thin mill system.
¿Cuánto tiempo tiene que iniciar?
Un minuto. El máximo es 2. Yeah. Okay. You can use a straight blade squeegee. You can dip and roll. Depends on the project. But in this case here, I'm going to apply it with a 5 to 7 mil squeegee just to apply it thicker. Okay. I'm going to do half the board. You know what? Let's get a piece of tape.
Mario, ¿eso también en la madera trabaja?
Es para una muestra.
Okay.
Okay. Sí tenemos sistemas para aplicar directamente arriba de madera, pero no en este caso.
Okay.
Yeah.
Es una muestra.
¿Cómo puedes? Sí, deberías. No sé. I mean, okay. Yeah. All right. Hold on. We're going to use a squeegee.
Yeah.
So let's pour some down right here.
Este es más líquido que el otro, ¿no?
Sí.
This is 101.
Yes. The question was, can you use this direct to concrete? Actually, direct to wood. We need to know more information what you're doing. It's not really, say, made for that. We do have systems.
Probably swell it too.
Yeah, we have systems designed to go over wood, but that's something which, as you start doing these systems more and more, then we can always explain that. Now these boards suck a lot of this polyaspartic. That's why I'm using a squeegee to apply it thicker. And some concrete will be that way. It all depends on the slab. All right, now you can back roll this.
Okay, I'm trying to.
Oh, let me get that puddle. Okay. Okay. when you're doing a thin mill coating like this, now you can see it's already getting sucked in. Yep. So you don't see how you're creating a lot of roller marks.
No good.
That's not good. Okay, yeah. Let me show you how to do this.
Okay.
Okay, so when I'm rolling this, you normally be using an 18-inch roller, so you don't have the pressure like this. But if you had to do it with a 9, okay. So first, I'm just going to roll it out. Okay, I'm just going to evenly disperse it, and I'm not putting pressure down. Now I'm doing it light. Okay, and right now I just want to make sure I have my coverage, so I'm just spreading it out. But already you could see I almost have no roller marks. Now I'm just going to roll it out, come back, and I'm putting a little bit of twist. You always also notice the metal is going in that direction. Now I'm going to move it over part way. I'm just putting a little bit of a twist just to take a little bit of pressure off. Okay. And this product lays out really nice, but you can't put a lot of pressure on it, because if you do, you're going to squeeze the material out of the roller, and that's what's leaving your roller marks. Okay, so now it's a nice, even finish.
Nice. Yeah,
No roller marks. Okay,
that's very nice.
but sin presión. Okay, yeah, porque si estás poniendo mucho presión, estás sacándolo del rodillo. Okay. Yeah, if you're putting a lot of pressure on it, you're actually squeezing it out of the roller. If you had a puddle, then yes, you may have to use a little bit of pressure to get that puddle spread out, but then you go over it without, it's light pressure, almost just the weight of the roller. Okay?
What product is this again?
Pardon?
What's the name of the product?
This is the RG70, and we're using it as a primer for our grind and seal application. We have a lot of ways to do a grind and seal, a lot of different products.
Yeah.
This is the one I feel actually is the most durable for the long term. It's a little bit more expensive, but the customer is not going to have you come back and reapply another coating for years. Okay, versus if you put an acrylic sealer, which is very cheap, or applied. Yeah, we're going to dump it on there again.
Yep.
Or applied a waterborne epoxy over the surface. Well, that's going to wear a lot faster than the system that we're showing here.
Pour it there.
Yep, pour it right there.
Right here?
Well, on a corner someplace.
Yeah, probably best to do it. Probably.
It doesn't. Just pour it one spot.
Yep.
That's okay. I like to pour it in just one puddle. Yeah, unlike an epoxy. But it's all personal preference of what you like.
Yeah.
Put pressure down.
Put a pressure on it.
Yeah, put the pressure down. Keep the roller. Actually, keep the pole at a 45 degree.
Okay.
You got that cover for it?
I did in the tray.
Okay.
Can you pour some into the tray so I can load this up? I just want to get that
Yeah, no problem.
color in here. That's good.
¿Cuánto lleva de pintura de este, Mario?
You're talking about the color, the pigment,
Yeah.
el color por galón de poliespático. En este caso es 8 onzas.
8 onzas por
Yeah.
galón.
Sí. Pero es con el color de nosotros.
El líquido, yeah.
Ellos también tienen otro, y ese es 16.
Sorry?
How many? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many ounces per gallon of pigment with yours?
I mean, about 8.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's pour a little bit more out there.
Yeah.
I want to, because that board's going to start sucking it in just a little bit.
I'll just pour it in this corner here then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got plenty of material.
Yep.
See. Then as we move down the line, I'll pour more puddles.
Yeah, you can apply this anywhere from 250, 300 square foot a gallon as a really tight squeegee coat, but you can apply it up to 8 mils thick, which would be 200 square foot per gallon.
This is the same product, just with.
It's just, yeah, it all depends on how thick you want to apply it.
Just pigment in,
No,
I
I
guess.
guess between this is.
Oh, between these two, same product, just we added pigment to it. Okay, I'm gonna start rolling this.
Oh, okay. Oh, there.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see how it just laid out really nice. It's this product. I've actually tried to screw this up. Could you? Sure, but it's not easy. This product does lay out so nice. Again, I'm rolling it with almost no pressure.
Yeah, light. Yeah, it's
But yeah, with the lighter colors, you're going to need more pigment, so like whites or yellow.
what?
So
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're gonna leave it alone. All right, so this one you can see already how it's starting to soak in. Some areas on a concrete slab will soak in completely. In other areas, it'll stay shiny. All right, so let's head back over here. We're gonna let this dry.
Mr. Mario,
Yes,
so can you apply 2 coat?
yes, yes. You can apply 2 coats. It depends on the durability that you need for the customer. It depends on what their need is. And we're always gonna finish it though with the urethane. Yeah. Because you could leave it with just 2 coats of the polyaspartic, but a polyaspartic does not have as much abrasion resistance as a urethane, and it's going to scuff easier than a urethane. You could see this floor; it's over 3 years old. Forklift's been driving on it; it's been dirty, and it's still shiny. Yeah, yep. And that's the product we're going to put on top of this. All right. So, any questions so far on this grind and seal that we're showing here? Okay, just like we did there, you mechanically profile. It says your final should be no more than generally an 80 up to 120. I never recommend bringing it up to 120. You don't need to. Okay, to get it up to 120, you're doing more passes with your machine, taking up more labor. And if you're using our RG70 and the Poly 1 HD, they don't need it. They have good bond. They don't need it that high. If you were going to use a less expensive sealer, okay, over the top, then you may want to bring it up to the 120. Okay, but here we're actually putting millage onto the surface, so just make sure that all the scratches are gone from the 30 grit, and if they are, and the concrete's going to dictate part of that. If the scratches are gone, stop. If there are still scratches, sometimes you can just take the weights off the machine and run the same 30s. And get rid of those scratches, or change the tooling, go to a 50, get rid of the scratches, clean it up, and start applying product. Okay, so I'm going to add some UDP to this. I didn't measure it. No le medí.
If you needed more cleanability or a little bit smoother, you could put a second coat on top, just like a 6 to 8 mil. So a thinner second coat is what we classify it as like a low profile.
You see that?
And that's
There's a lot in this roller, or no? Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, we have that tool. Hang on.
Yeah, the 6-in-1 is over there. Too late. I'm already done.
Who needs tools, right?
That's actually how I found out what that tool was for. Somebody saw me doing this. They're like, there's a tool for that. And I was like, what? And I was like, really? And then they said, yeah, that curved part. I'm like, oh, for all these years I've had one. I never knew that was for. Yeah. That was after doing that for like 20 years. It was crazy. All right. So we're going to load up the roller again. And now we're going to apply it on this one. So whoever wants to apply it. But now it has the additive. Now this side, because we used RG70, this product is UV stable. Okay. As long as you have a nice uniform amount of color on the surface. This is RG70. This is a polyaspartic. This is UV stable. So I can apply a clear over this and that won't turn yellow because that's not going to yellow anyways by itself. But if this was epoxy and I put it clear on top of it, that's UV stable. That's, if this was epoxy, wouldn't be, it will still turn yellow. Okay. People think, well, that's UV stable, but it's like a window. Okay. The window doesn't get affected by the UV, but the curtains or the window blinds or the carpeting or the sofa that's there will fade out the color because it's allowing the UV to go through. That's what happens with a clear coat. Okay. So if this was epoxy, I'd be putting pigment in it, but it's not. It's a polyaspartic. Everybody know? Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Where, yeah, like you might see chalking, especially if you had this on top of like a just standard epoxy.
you can see chalking, something happened, and they're like, oh, well, my coating chalked. It's not actually that coating, it's the epoxy that's
Yep.
chalking underneath.
Or blood starts ambering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With heavy
Okay.
UV, it'll be chalking before ambering. So, you're like, oh, it's glossed.
I would dip it some more.
Reload, yeah.
Yep.
And this is,
Now, when I go to put it back down, since this was thin and now the roller's full, I always like to come back over.
To the edge.
Yep. Like that, work my way back. Okay. And then when I get here, then I go back that way. Need a little bit of pressure because it's a little dry. There you go. Now go to your left. No, no. Keep going. Keep going to your left this way. Keep, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we put it there to make it even.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it was a heavy roller
Yeah.
and it was a semi-dry roller. Okay. Now, if this is a tight area, you could go back here to even it out, or if you have room, you can back roll. Or if they were an area, what if that was a wall? You can't back roll that way, so you'd have to do it this way. Okay.
yeah, so it's great. Especially this product is, again, if they're, I guess it's on a different training they do, or say, hey, it's great for in-house crews, people that just need to work out of a pan.
Yeah.
9100.
No, we don't promote 9100 here, unless it's
Line striping.
Primer.
yeah, line striping or
Well, yeah,
primer,
line striping
or they're going to coat
Yeah.
metal.
But going back to what Mario said and Corey said about the window, you can tint this product. Typically, it's about 8 ounces per gallon, depending on the color. Lighter colors might need a little bit more, but specifically, it's usually 8 ounces.
Okay, now come on this side. Change the roller, flip it. There you go. Now, I like to put pigment in this coat because when you're doing a large area like this and you're putting clear over a color, you can't see the clear. No puedes mirarlo. Pero si si está pigmentado, sí lo puedes mirar.
If you go to the, so flip it
Yeah.
over.
Yep. Oh, flip. Todo el tiempo quieres el metal apuntando en la dirección que vas. Okay. We're done.